other question we had: did you ever come up with some music that the audience could um, look into? Because I know there's a lot of
Oh,
talk about not as much R&B out there, and
hmm
but then there's a lot of people who are putting out music continuously, and
yes.
so I mean, do you have a list of songs and artists that we should
You know
look
what?
at?
I actually do. And
Okay.
it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Because
Okay.
because I told you how I get tired of searching through things and da da da. But there's actually some good R&B out there. I have found some, uh, and so let me give you a couple of suggestions, guys. So I came across this new artist. His name is Giveon. He's been making a lot of noise. He's actually has a song with Justin Bieber,
Okay.
Peaches. Yeah, but he has also quite a few nice songs out there. He has his own distinctive style. It's a little different. But check out the single "Heartbreak Anniversary." I think that's the one they're putting a lot of money and promotion behind right now. Um, Also, there's a new guy named I think it's pronounced Vito, or it could be Vado, Vedo. Has a new song called "Yesterday." And when I came across this, I'm like, wow, that sounds like it could came out in the late '90s or early 2000s. It had like it just had that vibe, like a Mario Winans kind of um, thing. But the song is called "Yesterday." You can check that out on YouTube or all your music outlets.
Okay.
Um, Eric Robertson, who's kind of been known in circles for many, many years. He has a new song called "Lesson." And I think a lot of people know Eric Roberson from the neo soul circuit. He's been kind of out here for a while, and he has his own little fan base. Stokely,
Okay.
have you heard the song Cascade?
No, no.
I think he has a what's the girl's name? Bonfire. I think she's like featured on the song, but it's a pretty song. It kind of has a Prince vibe to it. But Stokely, definitely, he
And
has
he was the
been
former
releasing
lead
some
singer
cool music.
of Mint
Yeah,
Condition, right?
of course, yes. And he's really been doing his thing solo. I never saw it for him solo, but it actually works. And I actually kind of like a lot of his videos. It's giving us a little bit more of him. Like he seems kind of like showing us little sides of his personality. I've never got his personality in the confines of the band because it's a band, but
Yeah.
I feel like he seems a little bit more loose and laid back and playful. So yeah, I
Mm.
like his music. The music he's been putting out, very fresh. It doesn't sound dated. It's very fresh. Um, so Chloe of the duo, Haley, is it Chloe and Haley or Haley and Chloe?
I
I don't
think
know,
maybe
but
Chloe and Haley. Yeah.
yeah, they're the signees of Beyonce. They have a new song called, or not they. Chloe has a solo outing, and it's called "Have Mercy." It's a little racy, but it's kind of a cool song. It's kind of funky. Um, for those who like, the little club bangers, that's a potential club banger. I can see that being a big hit, and it's been gaining a lot of traction on the charts. And lastly, I'm gonna try to pronounce this. Ari Pinsmith, and he has a song called "City Girl." And the version that I like, which is more of an acoustic version, that's the
Mm.
one that's kind of gaining traction right now. And it's just this lovely story about this girl from the city. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of in the vein of Maria from the GNB project, or stuff like that. It's kind of
Yeah.
like it's kind of a cool record. So yeah, give those a try. I think there's things out there, and I'm sure there's gonna be suggestions when you check out these things. But
Yeah.
there's music. Don't give up on R&B. It's still out there, and if we support the good R&B, and then that will show that there's a want for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we will list them because if I there's a few that I could rattle off. Um, Saint James. He's
Okay.
spelled James is Jaimz or Z. St. James. He's been I had the privilege of interviewing him a couple of months ago, but he has been really churning out as he's a singer, songwriter, producer. He even had
Mhm.
he's even produced and wrote a song for his dad, who's about 79 or so, or 73. Sounds like Ron Isley. Amazing track.
Right.
And so he's just been real. I mean, you listen to it and think, wow, this is really hardcore R&B. So he's really pushing as an independent artist. Um, Jay King. So Jay King, if anyone remembers the group Club Nouveau,
Oh, Club
yes,
Nouveau.
Club Nouveau.
Okay.
So he has pushed out a new album called Soulful Bossa Nova, and it's a collection between soul music and some of Brazilian type of soulful music. And I can't wait to showcase his interview on Halftime Chat next week. But he's talked about, that there is so much good R&B out there. You just have to look for
Hmm.
them.
Is
Um,
this is he the featured artist or is this a
yeah,
compilation?
no, this is him being a feature artist and but
Okay,
getting,
cool.
yeah. So yes, um, but then also Jam and Terry Lewis. Their first
Mhm.
album. Even though they've been in the business for a long time, they were able to recruit the likes of Mariah Carey and Usher, Tony Braxton, Boyz II Men, and even Morris Day in the time to feature on their album. I think Stokely might have also featured. Oh no, um, their gospel group, um,
Sounds
Sounds
of
of
Blackness.
Blackness. Yeah, so they, they're as I said, when we did our talk on producers, they're the most diverse producers out there,
Yeah,
and it's good to see them really pushing the album. So there's some good stuff out there,
I
um,
agree.
and
And I heard that Jam and Lewis. You know what? Jam and Lewis still got it. I
yeah,
don't know how they still got it all these years later, but they still got it. I like that
yeah.
album.
So we'll put a link to we'll list all the albums and the acts that we've put out. When this video goes out, we'll put a link so
Hmm.
people can click on and it's a lot different now. Before you'd have to go to buy the album at Tower Records or Virgin Store or
Right.
Best Buy. But now it's either you go and you just listen to it on YouTube or YouTube Music
Spotify or
or
YouTube. Yeah.
Spotify um or even on
Free.
YouTube you can just
For
listen to
free.
it. It's strange you listen to it for free, um but you're still because I'll be honest, if I bought a CD right now, I have no place to play it. My car doesn't play CDs. I don't have a CD player
Right.
at home,
Okay.
so it's not that I wouldn't want to. And I don't have a vinyl player, so so it's not as if I wouldn't want to support an artist by buying the album. It's just like I'll just be buying it and keeping it and not be able to listen to it. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's I think that's just to digress slightly is the fact that our ability to listen to music. As I said, when I had my back in the day, I'd buy a CD, I'd put it in my car and listen to crispy CD rich music in my
Hmm.
car, or I'd come home and play it, and I had the speakers and set up. Now with the whole digital, an artist would tell you that it's not the same quality when they record it to when it's out digitally because it gets as a copy of a copy of a copy and loses its richness
Right.
compared to when it was on a CD where you're playing it in the car or playing it at home. And so that in itself makes the fact that somebody says we've got a new album out and it's like, well, is it an album because I'm not holding it, or I've got a new
Right.
collection of songs that you can download and stream. So I think um, I think there's the whole discussion about music and how to make money from it and how to give the fans an experience that they can enjoy. Because, as I said, even if somebody gave me a free CD now, it wouldn't
You
make
wouldn't.
much of this. I wouldn't know what to do with it. I wouldn't know how to
Well,
play it.
on a fun note, I would like to ask, and maybe we can start asking where you can start asking your interviewees this
Well, we're
question.
going to be doing our
What was?
interviews on this channel, so don't worry. So we'll
Oh,
be
cool.
interviewing. Yeah, so that will be good for us to do that.
What was the last CD you bought? Can you remember that?
Oh, me, goodness. Wow.
Isn't that a question?
Yeah. Um,
I remember mine, but
what
I'm
was
gonna
yours?
wait until you think of yours. Well, I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm not proud to say. No, the last CD I bought was actually an artist by the name of Jay Holiday, which was probably well over 10 years ago. But yeah, I think it was his second album. So that was, yeah, wasn't, I mean, it was a good album, but it wasn't that eventful. I don't know if people even remember who that was.
Yeah, I remember the name Jay Holiday. I think the last
He made the
CD.
song Bed. That was his big song,
Yeah,
Bed. But his second CD was, I think, second round or round two. And that was like the last actual physical CD that I actually bought. And prior to
yeah.
that, it was like Cherish or something. So
I think
yeah, it's been
it.
a while.
I think probably um if so. Guy came out with dancing. No, so it wouldn't have been Blackstreet, and I didn't like the BL3. So
Are we talking about way back in 99 or 2000?
so I think the last album that I can remember buying was Lauryn Hill's Unplug.
Oh, okay.
They had Mysteries of Iniquity. They had also Unplugged CD. That's the
Okay.
last I can think I can remember buying.
But this wasn't when it was released. This was just like as a fan later on,
No, this is when it
right?
came out. When she had done,
Oh,
she had
okay.
finished recording, and it was put out as a CD, a double CD. I think that it's the last. So unless Michael Jackson came out with something afterwards, which I don't think,
Mm.
because I bought Invincible when he came out, but that came
Oh, yeah,
out
me
in
too.
20. But if unless and Guy did not come out with anything, and Blackstreet, so because I would always buy a Blackstreet album,
Hmm.
um, and I bought the Guy 3 album, but I don't know what year that came out. So if it's not Guy or Blackstreet or Michael Jackson, that's the Lauryn Hill's probably the last one I can remember
Yeah.
buying. Um, so it, yeah,
Yeah, the mid 2000s is pretty much when CDs sales kind of went like most
yeah.
people. I mean,
Napster, when
of course it
Napster
was a
came out,
digital. Yeah,
when
because
Napster
don't
came
even
out.
ask me when's the last time I bought a download. Because I mean, music is free now. Like, why? But that's the thing. Like, we have to remember that you can still buy these things. Like, when people tell me, "Hey, go check out my music," like, okay, for I have friends that are in the industry and they have like when they release, projects, I'll actually buy them, but it's like it's weird because most of the music is free. Like, whereas, it's
It's
not just like streaming it. Like, I'll literally buy it just because, oh, they got a new single out. Let me buy it and purchase it. But
yeah,
it's so weird because I can just listen to it for free. But I know the only people I actually buy their music today usually is somebody I know or somebody I see that's aspiring to be an artist.
yeah,
I might go buy, a single or EP just to support. But in my mind, especially with the younger artists, not in my mind, I think I still caught up in that the old way of things because the younger artists, they'll be like, well, you just stream it. And I'm like, you don't understand that if I buy it, aren't you getting more money from me buying it than streaming it? You know what I'm saying? Like their mindset is like stream it, just listen to it. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, but I'm gonna buy it. And they're like, okay, but stream it. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, but you're getting more money if I actually buy it. Because
Well,
I have to listen to it so many times for you to actually make money.
not
But
necessarily
yeah, it's
because
all
if it's streamed on Spotify, they're not going to make much from there.
yeah.
If they stream it on YouTube, I think you can work out that if they can get a couple 100,000 stream views, they can make
Right.
some money. Um, but they're up against a lot, and without a label pushing it, and that's the price. You know, St. James said, "Look, go if you want, you get a bank a loan to push out your music, you can get all this
Hmm.
stuff done." But anyway, that's a good question, and I would have to dig in my archives.
Most artists, they make their music, I mean, their money, I think, from like merchandise now. Because I mean, everybody's got a T-shirt or something to buy. So I think that's where they get their physical.
And
Then they have to pay someone to make that.
But it's going on the road. But
Yeah.
it's going on the road. But yeah, it's yeah, that that would be interesting for me to think about. What's my? I think it's the Lauryn Hill one, but I can't. But and that was about
that was a long time ago.
02, 03, 04, and
I mean, I understand it. It was a rocky time for music at that time. So.
Yeah, but anyway.
And Lauryn Hill is actually one of my favorite artists. I forgot to put her on one of my lists, but she's definitely in one of my tops.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was. Yeah, I think that was and yeah, it was more so because that was just a powerful album. But that's probably was the last one that I got, and my music whole thing changed quite a lot after that anyway. So,
well,
yeah,
ask Dalvin, Mr. Dalvin, what his last CD was, and ask Christopher Williams when you interview them. What was your last CD that you purchased? I would love to see their face. They're like, what?
Balls, you don't know. 5 minutes before I was supposed to interview Christopher Williams, he sends his manager or his agent or his publicist sends me a message saying, "Oh, he's not going to be able to make it today." 5 minutes before the interview goes on, and I'd should have him not have offered to agree to for an interview than to wait 5 minutes. But anyway, and since then he's just backed out. So, but anyway, I'm not bitter about that since I don't bring that up.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not overly bitter about that. But anyway, yeah. So
well,
no,
thanks for joining us, guys. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. As I said, I'm scratching my head about that last CD. You know, you guys can put in your comments what's the last CD you guys bought, because I'm going back to 2004 Lauryn Hill's Unplugged, and I'm almost thinking, is there anything else? If it was not Michael Jackson or Blackstreet, and I'm even the last Blackstreet album they put out on DreamWorks, I didn't get that. So if it's not a Michael album, and this is it.
So you didn't get like the Michael Jackson Escape album and all that? And the other alleged Michael Jackson albums?
No. I mean, all those ones all those ones with get downloaded versions, but they weren't even, I wasn't 100% sure it was him and stuff. So, he was very particular about his music. So, no, the last of his that I bought was Invisible. And it was a decent album. It was just the wrong singles were released and stuff. But anyway, we'll digress. So so it was great today. Thanks guys for joining us. And in the comments, tell us the last CDs you bought. And that's definitely a great question that threw me off guard. And
all right.
Yeah, we'll as we will do, we will look to bring in a number of other people to come in and share the spotlight with us, whether they're new artists, would they want to spotlight their new music, or some of our community friends who are into music, who have their own views about stuff. So we'll mix things up, and hopefully you'll join us for the ride as well.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun talking to you, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on Can We Talk? Look out for the next episode.
Definitely. All right. Take care.